Well, hello there guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now today, we're going to be doing yet another sort of PC haul video. Now we've done about two of these so far. There was the $5 PC video back in July of this year, and there was the video that I did recently on those two older computers that I got from a good friend of mine. But today we have something that I think is going to put all of those to shame, sort of. This is a computer that I got for $2.50 at a local thrift store over here in my area. And it's not just any computer. This is a PowerMac, sorry, G5 tower computer, as you can see here. And this is a pretty expensive computer. It was pretty expensive when it came out. And when I saw this, it was like regularly $5, and they had it for half off, so it makes it $2.50. And I just had to pick it up because I could not, just like let this kind of sit there. They had a few other computers, but most of them didn't have all the major components. This one had, I'm pretty sure it has everything. It does have two hard drives, so this will be the first computer, if the hard drives work or if one of them works. This will be the first computer that I got from a thrift store that I featured on video that has like a working hard drive. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited here because this is going to be pretty cool for us to take a look at. Now, some of you might be wondering that yeah, I have a PowerMac G5 on my website. If you go on my website, teammgd.com/computers, yeah, I have already a PowerMac G5 listing, and I've owned that computer, which is actually, I have it right here, which is a very similar model, and I've owned this one. I did not pay $2.50 for it, that's for sure, but I've owned this one for a good while, and it works great, runs well. I've not had any issues with it, but when I saw this one, because I was like, I opened it up in the store, which I'm going to do here shortly. I was looking at some of the internal components, and I thought for a second that this one was newer than the one that I have. And when I brought it home, I actually did some further research, and I looked at the copyright dates on the bottom. And this model that I bought from the thrift store is copyright 2003, and the one I have is copyright 2005. So that brings it, the one I have is about the one that I've had for a while is about 2 years newer than this one. But we're going to see if this thing even works and, what's on it. Again, there's two hard drives. There's also a lot of RAM in this thing, or at least a lot of RAM DIMM cards. And we're just going to be seeing, what's on this, and I'm going to try to be wiping the hard drive if there's, some sensitive information. This is, of course, a PowerMac G5, and the G5 processor, if you're not familiar, just a brief sort of history, was Apple's last, processor that they used from the PowerPC chipset. They had used, I believe, they started out with the G3 chipset. They moved on to the G4. And this was the only computer, well, they made this in the iMac, I believe, and Steve Jobs actually promised people up on stage that they were going to get the G5 into a laptop, and come to find out they couldn't really do that, and that's one of the reasons they made the switch to Intel, which is where they kind of stand today. They're still making Intel-based Macs. So, this computer can only run up to 10.5 Leopard, OS 10, 10.5 Leopard. That's the latest version of the OS that it can support. So I'm going to guess it's not going to be running that. I'm going to guess that it's going to be running like maybe because, it's like from 2003. It might be running Leopard, and I'll be honestly pretty surprised if it is. But I'm guessing it's being like from the amount of RAM, and there's like two hard drives. I'm just going to take a guess that it's running OS 10 server. But let's just actually open this thing up because I kind of want to show you guys what we have on the inside here, and I'll also open up the one that I have right here next to it to kind of give you a brief comparison. Okay, so I kind of got a little better angle on the camera here. I'm trying to move my microphone cable kind of down here because kind of moving around a lot. So we're going to pull this lever right here, kind of, which is one of the nice features. about this is it's just, you know, the whole thing comes down kind of like all models of the PowerMac. I actually have a G4 over there, as you can see. Hopefully a video will be on that and the G3 that I have actually. Okay, so this is probably the best angle that we're going to have. You can see that this one is kind of dirty. The other model that I have is in way better like cosmetic condition than this one is, but that's kind of besides the point here. So you'll see here that we have the two you know, G5 processor things, and I'm guessing this means that there's two separate processors, not cores but actual processors. Okay, so I've pulled up the actual spec sheet of this computer, or of this model number, and this does confirm that these are indeed two separate processors, but I'm not sure. It either is going to come in a 2 gigahertz, a 2.5 gigahertz, or a 1.8 gigahertz configuration, and I'm not really sure what model this is. We're gonna have to check from the OS once we actually turn it on, because they made, you know, different models or like different variations of this model. But there is two of these, this was obviously one of the higher end models. But yes, so that is what these are right here. Right here we have the fans for you know, cooling and stuff. And this is actually very easy to take out. We just kind of pull it here, and this whole unit just kind of comes out like this. And this is, you can tell this is one of the older units because it has one of the older fan style. Again, I'll show you in this newer unit that there is a newer fan style. And you can see how many RAM DIMMs we have right here. We have like 6, and some of these are 1 gigahertz cards, some are 512 meg. They were all kind of like, I had to put them in here. They were all just kind of like laying like right here, because like when this thing was like standing up, like in the store, whoever had it set up didn't put the RAM cards in properly, and one of them was like actually turned, and like someone tried to like shove it in backwards, which is not a good thing to do. So hopefully that didn't mess up anything, but they are in there. I believe these two red ones either have been added on, or those are the two original ones, and these 4 have been added on. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing how much RAM, because I'm just not gonna bother taking all that out. It's easier just to check from the software. So, and how this fan connects, there's this little port right here, and it plugs into that port right there. So it's very simple. It's a very nice design too. It just kind of plugs in and goes on like that. Up here we have your 2 hard drives. I'm going to try to get the camera panning to actually like be good this time, because in the last video I was kind of like talking about something, the camera was in a whole different area. But up here we have your 2 hard drives. I could not get them out to see what like capacity that they were, but I'm hoping one of them has a boot sector, and we can boot to OS 10 and see what's on there. If there's any, you know, personal data, I'm obviously going to be wiping it, and I'm going to try to show anything sensitive on video, because that could be bad for whoever previously owned this. Here we have, I'm going to guess this is a DVD drive. It could be a CD only drive though. And yeah, so, and then obviously we have the motherboard. We have your video card. It's kind of difficult to see, but it's like right here. Actually, I'll just pull the camera off to kind of show you that. Here is your video card right here. It is an ATI video card, back when they were just ATI, not owned by AMD. And it has, this was custom made for Apple, and you can tell that because it has the special Apple port for connecting to a Apple Cinema display, and a DVI port, which is what we're going to be using to connect it to the display right here. I'm actually going to have to be using a DVI to VGA adapter, because I don't have a monitor besides my main monitor up here, which I don't really want to use. Like I don't want to unplug everything. So I'm going to have to use one of these things and, you know, convert to a VGA signal, you know, like the blue one. And then I have a VGA cord I'm going to plug in here. So, yeah, so that is basically the inside of this. I'll show you the port layout on the back. Here's a brief layout of all your ports on the back. Here we have your Apple display port. I'm not sure what that's called. I think it's not display port. It's called something else. I'm not 100% sure. And then we have your DVI. And then down here, we have all of your standard ports. We have a Wi-Fi like adapter thing, a Bluetooth adapter, We have your optical audio in and out. We have your sound, your microphone, I believe, 2 USB, 1 FireWire. We have, which is I think the older style FireWire. We have 1 Ethernet and 1 modem, and we have the older style power jack, which is another reason how I can kind of tell that this is not a newer version, which is what I kind of saw what was kind of odd about it, as I'll show you on this one here. On the newer one I have, you'll see that the power jack is a little bit different. It's a special, port, like a special power port, and that is for I had to buy like a separate adapter for it. And you'll see that the ports are a little bit different on the back. We have the same graphics card. I believe it's the same graphics card. Or no, actually it's not. This has 2 DVI ports, so that's a different configuration. And I'll just briefly show you the inside of this one, because we're kind of going on a little long. I don't want to, go on too long without turning the actual system on. You'll see one of the things that we're missing on this one is this little door which covers everything, which is kind of nice. You'll see we only have the 1 G5 thing, which I believe this is a single core, or not a single core, but 1 single processor, which is probably dual core. We have your same layout. I think this has the same amount of RAM cards in there. I believe it has actually 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it has 8 RAM cards. So yeah, this has 12 gigs of RAM from when I last turned it on. So we'll be seeing if this one, because I did not realize it had that much RAM. I just kind of saw it when I opened this back up. I was like, oh yeah, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM. I remember that. So yeah, we're gonna be turning this other one on here, because I know this one works. Obviously, the one that I've owned for a while. We're gonna be turning this one on and just seeing what happens. They wrote on the top here that they tried to turn it on and it didn't work, and they reseated the memory and then it worked, but for some reason it was still in the PC parts section of the store. I don't really understand why, but I'm just gonna quickly get this thing all connected, and we're gonna be turning this on and see what happens. So let's press that. We got something. Got a lot of noise. We heard the Mac startup sound. I guess this is how loud it is. I believe that's normal. You see we got lights going on over there and everything. The monitor just came on. We got the Apple logo. Okay, see, now it's kind of quieting down. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just kind of normal since it's a G5, and it's just kind of that way. You're gonna probably be hearing this. Oh, look at that. It looks like it is indeed a Leopard machine, just from the background there. We have a password. Let's see if somebody didn't put their password on. Well, look at that. There is no password. There is no password. Okay. I thought I was going to have to go in and just reset the password and stuff. But okay, that's nice. There's a lot of stuff on here. I'm going to try to cover up. There's a legal folder. There's paycheck, statements, medical, logbook, timesheets, taxes. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here. I'm going to be going through this just to see what's on here, and I'm probably going to be wiping. I'm not going to be showing it on video because I'm not a jerk, but let's just quit out of Microsoft Word here. I don't know why Word came up. I want to cancel. We have the old PC clock thing because it's obviously wrong. But let's see what we have here. So this is not running a server OS. We have... Oh, okay, we have 2 gigs of RAM. Okay, that's way less than, 12 gigs like the other things. So yeah, that's a lot of 512 sticks in there, and probably 256 sticks. And yeah, we do have dual 1.8 gigahertz PowerPC G5s. I'm going to try to be blurring out this guy's name. But, yeah. He has a very generic name, though, so it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, we do have a lot of stuff on here. Okay, so I just turned off the G5, mainly because of how loud that it was, and you guys probably weren't going to be able to hear anything that I was saying. But I was going through some of this guy's stuff on here. I'm obviously not going to show it on video, and I am going to be wiping the hard drive. because my gosh, there's a lot of stuff on here. Not only does this guy have like all of his bank statements on here, all of his credit card statements are on here. Every purchase that he's made in like the years 2002 to 2011 are on here. His social security number is on here, and not only that, but he has a Excel document with all his passwords in it. And it is password protected, but I mean, that can be easily broken using like, somebody could obviously figure out how to do that. I'm not obviously going to waste the time to do that because I don't really have the time and I'm not that much of a jerk. But, basically the point I'm trying to make here is if this computer were to have fallen into the wrong hands, somebody could have stolen this guy's like entire like identity, basically, like his whole, like, I mean, they would have his like social security number, all his passwords, which I mean, yeah, he could change them, but I'm sure there's like one or two or a few passwords in there that are still the same. I mean, that list, I like looked and it was only modified like in 2011, which is like when this PC was being or this Mac was put out of service. And yeah, I mean, people could still get into like his accounts or like have a good idea of what his passwords are for other things, and they would have like his whole social security number and like all his bank, like all of his bank information. It's like, it's just crazy what people leave on computers that they donate to a thrift store, and the thrift store sells for $2. I mean, seriously, like somebody could have found this, and there are other people that are waiting in line, like, and I'm pretty sure one of them saw this and wanted like to pick it up, and they might not be as nice as I am to wipe this guy's data, but I am going to be doing that. I might have a video up after this one where I'm going to be formatting it and reinstalling Leopard. Again, I'm not going to be showing any personal information on here because that's just wrong. Basically, the point I'm trying to make here is if you're going to sell or donate an old computer, please make sure that you wipe all of your personal data off of it, or at least at least take the hard drive out and keep the hard drive and just like donate everything else. All of my Goodwill stores here, they take out the hard drive and the memory for some reason. I don't know why they do the RAM, but they know that the hard drive stores, like, it has sensitive data. They take out the hard drives of every PC that they get, and they'd physically destroy them. And they sell the rest of the machine. It's really expensive. It's like $30. It's kind of a ripoff, but this thrift store doesn't do that. They sell like whatever they have. They just kind of turned this on, saw that it was working, and they put it out for sale. So all thrift stores don't do that. I'm sure that yours don't. So if you're going to donate a computer or you sell one, like at your own garage sale, or maybe if you own a store, just be sure to either format the hard drive, get all that sensitive data off of it, or just take out the hard drive and keep it and put it in like another computer of yours, or just like physically like do damage to the hard drive to like make it so that data cannot be accessed by anybody else, because it's very important that you don't that nobody else can access all your sensitive data. And I can't stress that enough, because I've gotten, like, every computer that I've gotten from this thrift store, I've featured some that I've gotten some that I haven't featured on video. A lot of them have had personal information that have had hard drives. That I did a video on that Dell laptop. I forget what model it was, but it was that tiny little Dell Mini laptop. Actually, it was the Dell Mini 1210. Actually, that laptop had somebody's like login for like Uvu like stored, so like I could have logged onto their Uvu account. It had like a bunch of their emails and stuff, but this was used. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing it was like for somebody's business, because there was like a lot of business type files on here. There's a lot of tax files. Again, a lot of bank statements, and the guy's social security number, which I can't get over. Why you would put that on your computer, I don't understand. And your passwords. I mean, that's like another thing. Like, you don't put your passwords on a digital file on your computer. I mean, it's just not what you do. But yeah, that's kind of a public service announcement, because it is very important that you guys wipe your hard drives, because you could, like, if this computer were to have fallen into the wrong hands, I mean, the consequences are, I don't even know what could happen. I mean, this guy, like somebody would have like all that data, which is a lot of important data that's supposed to be kept private. So yeah, I think that is just going to about wrap it up for this video. Again, be sure to wipe your hard drives. I know I've said it like 20 times already, but I can't stress it enough. Again, be looking around. I'm probably going to be doing like a follow-up video to this maybe next week, where I'm going to be installing Leopard, just to kind of, I guess, prove to you guys that I am going to be wiping this. So if you guys don't believe me, I am going to be wiping this. I do promise you. And yeah, that video will be out sometime next week, I believe. And yeah, so just thank you guys so much for watching. Again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas for those of you that celebrate holidays out there. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, and I will see you all in the next video.